Welcome to the GoalZero Toolbox Talk series. Today's Toolbox Talk: Garage Safety. Mechanics are especially vulnerable to chemical exposure, equipment accidents and other workplace hazards, which is why we have workplace standards for garages. These standards are continually updated to keep up with changes in the industry. Failure to comply can result in accidents and injuries. Right to know: the standard violated most is the Right to Know standard, which addresses the use of potentially hazardous chemicals. It requires that employees be notified of the possible dangers of the chemicals they are using. It also requires detailed labeling of all chemicals, inventory lists of chemicals on site, training for employees in the safe use of chemicals, and a written plan that outlines how the workplace will enforce the Right to Know provision. Adequate safety equipment must be supplied for the workers, such as respirators when painting. The employer must also provide PPE ranging from goggles to noise reduction devices like earplugs and earmuffs. All tools must be maintained in good condition so that they may be safely used, and employees should be informed of the proper use of all tools and possible hazards. Some of the larger, more standardized tools, such as the lift, must be inspected and serviced regularly. There are also standards for housekeeping and equipment storage. The layout of the garage itself also must meet safety standards. The floor must be kept uncluttered and should provide easy access for walking. All spills should be cleaned up immediately, and tools and parts that are not being used should be put away. There are also broader regulations for the shop layout, such as standards for electrical wiring. Fire extinguishers and evacuation plans are also required. Make it a habit to check for good housekeeping, proper storage, use of PPE, chemical labeling, and all other safety standards to protect yourself and others and make your workplace safe year-round. There is a lot to remember to remain safe in a garage area. But if we follow the safety procedures, we can mitigate those hazards. These are just a few safety tips that will help you work safely every day. Allow the engine to cool before beginning work. Eye protection is required. No loose-fitting clothing or jewelry is permitted while working on trucks and equipment. Set the parking brake, and use wheel chocks and bed props. Know the locations of fire extinguishers, eye-wash stations and first aid kits. No smoking is permitted outside designated areas. Turn the equipment off and put the keys in your pocket. This prevents anyone from starting the vehicle while you are working. Always use proper ventilation. Keep your hands clear of the cooling system and never remove the radiator cap while the system is hot. Garages and workshops have many different hazards present due to the broad range of activities that take place. All personnel should be trained appropriately, take the necessary precautions, comply with all safety procedures and be fully familiar with the risk assessment control measures for the task they are carrying out or the equipment they are using.